Hey everybody, CyberCall Monday here with my co-host Wes Spencer. Wes, how are you?
Good as always. Thanks for having me, Andrew.
Wes, we're gonna do a real quick one today. Let's talk about how MSPs can use threat modeling to make money. Yes, adversary emulation to make the cash register ring. Let's hope that wakes MSPs up here Monday morning. Wes, let me just go to the web real quick here and let's talk about, for example, MITRE ATT&CK. And we're going to have Darin Roberts on, an expert in threat modeling. And, we as MSPs need to know who attacks us. And it's really as easy as putting in, any three-word search, although MITRE is a little slow here right now, but it'll tell you who attacks you. Conversely, let's say you're an MSP and you work in banking, same thing. And then we can go in and look at who attacks your customers, how they do it. And Wes, I'm going to hand it to you. Why do we want to do things like this? And if we got a little bit good at it, what's the opportunity for MSPs?
Well, there's tons of opportunity. And I think what's so great about attack is it brings clarity to us. One thing that attack does a good job of is it helps us describe what are the attacks and techniques that threat actors use. And you can think of it as like the big library, right? I can go to the library and read up on anything I want to know. But what's really nice is now that I have the entire library, I can then go and understand, okay, what are the specific areas that I should be concerned with based upon what threat actors that are attacking me are concerned with, or my clients. And I love this because MSPs now understand attack, Andrew. Like in the early days, they didn't know. Now today, they very much, I can go to 90% of them and they can give me a high level of what it's all about. And that's step one. But step two is once we understand what attack techniques we should be researching and understanding, then we can begin to say, well, what controls do I need to design around all of this? And I think that's so exciting, Andrew, because 3 years ago, 4 years ago, conversations with MSPs around security was like throwing stuff at the wall and let's see what sticks, right? So it's things like, on Reddit, hey, what are you using for XYZ vendor? And everyone says, I use this one. They're great because whatever. And you're like, we didn't really accomplish anything in that discussion. We just talked about what our subjective favorites are. And so what attack does is it lets us bring science into this entire process of security and understand how it's not a witch pot of security. We stir around and see what we get. We understand what the controls are. And then we begin to understand, well, now I can go into this third step of maturity of how do I design and test the effectiveness of those controls? And that's what adversary emulation is all about, is saying, okay, this is how they act. These are the controls I need in place. And this is how I'm going to test those controls. And it brings clarity to all of it. Andrew, I'll just close on this. Science is what got us to the moon. Science is one day what's going to get us to Mars. And I think science is the next step in security, right? Let's bring science into this process and not subjectivity. And so I think this is an exciting thing. And that's what I'm so glad we're talking about this on the CyberCall today, because 5 years ago, I never would have dreamed we'd have a discussion like this with hundreds and hundreds of MSPs. So really excited about it, Andrew.
Yeah, Wes, really well said. And I'm excited for MSPs to look from Darin Roberts' perspective, and he's going to give us a 101 course. This is not hard to get started. And again, we want you as MSPs to know yourself, know your battlefield, and know your enemy, as Ryan Weeks says each week. Wes, we'll look forward to seeing everybody at 1.
Thanks.